Good morning, everyone, and thank you to Dr. Dathio Murchu and the Second U team for the welcome and for hosting us here at Scoil Ghráinne. My name is Guido van Dijk. I am the Erasmus Plus coordinator at SOML in the Netherlands, where I have worked for about 15 years, first as a computer science teacher, and now leading our European portfolio. I coordinate projects such as Food Heroes, Edutain STEM, and Ideals. I am president of CRES, the Center for Research and European Studies, and I research self-regulated learning at the Open University. This morning, I want to talk about something simple but powerful: how game-based learning, built around the Sustainable Development Goals, can deliver genuine 21st century teaching and learning, and how the SteamScape project shows it in practice. We will look at why games work, how a digital escape game can carry STEAM and the SDGs at the same time, what I see as their real value in a classroom, and how this fits a wider line of European best practice. And we will leave plenty of room for your questions. Let us start with the obvious question: why games at all? Play is not a break from learning. Designed well, the game becomes the lesson, and it builds exactly the skills the SDGs demand of young people: creativity, reasoning, and teamwork. 3 things happen in a good educational game. First, engagement with agency. A story and a deadline give every learner a reason to lean in. They are not waiting for the lesson to end, they are inside it. Second, creativity. With the right tools, pupils do not just play, they make, remix, and build. They become authors, not consumers. And third, critical thinking. A well-built puzzle rewards reasoning, forming a hypothesis, testing it, and learning from failure without fear. That, in one sentence, is 21st century learning. So how do we get the SDGs and STEAM into that experience? This is the heart of SteamScape. A digital escape game is a STEAM challenge built on a real sustainable development goal. So while pupils are solving the puzzle, they are practicing science, technology, arts, and maths, and they are acting on sustainability, not just hearing about it. Let me make it concrete. Imagine a game on climate action, SDG 13, where pupils model the carbon choices of a growing city. Or Life Below Water, 14, where they trace a piece of plastic through an ocean mystery. Or Responsible Consumption, 12, where they redesign a supply chain to cut waste. And Quality Education, 4, where the pupils themselves build the next game for their peers. In every case, the Sustainable Development Goal is the content, not a slogan, and the STEAM is woven into the puzzle, not bolted on the side. But this is not just my enthusiasm. Let me show you what the Dutch research and curriculum say. This is not only my enthusiasm. In the Netherlands, the research and the national curriculum point in the same direction. First, on skills. Our Curriculum Institute SLO, with Kennisnet, names 11 21st century skills: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and more. And digital literacy is now formally entering the core curriculum, the kerndoelen. A KNAW report was blunt: pupils' digital literacy has to improve. Designing and playing games exercises exactly these skills. Second, on the method. A Kennisnet meta-analysis concludes that serious games are effective for teaching content and skills. Dutch classroom research by TNO found that a well-made game gives pupils a strong sense of control, higher self-efficacy, more motivation, and a more self-directed attitude. With one condition I take seriously as a teacher: the effect depends on how well the teacher embeds the game, not on the game alone. Third, on sustainability. The Dutch SDG 4 Alliance, Leren voor Morgen, promotes a whole school approach: sustainability woven through the curriculum, the teaching, and the life of the school, not treated as an add-on. A digital escape game built on an SDG is a concrete way to do exactly that. So the policy, the research, and the practice line up. I want to step out of the abstract for a moment and tell you personally why I am convinced this belongs in a real classroom. I look at it through 3 lenses, because I wear 3 hats, and each one, on its own, says yes. As an Erasmus Plus coordinator, what I value most is that it scales and transfers. So much European work produces beautiful reports that never reach a pupil. SteamScape produces something a teacher can actually run on Monday, and one playable model travels across countries, subjects, and schools. That is impact that outlasts the funding period. As a computer science teacher, which I have been for 15 years, I value the real digital practice. Pupils do not just click through a quiz, they reason, they collaborate, and with the guide, they can build and even debug their own game. That is computational thinking wrapped in a story, and crucially, it survives contact with a real lesson on a real afternoon. And as a researcher, I study self-regulated learning at the Open University. I value that this is designed to be learned from. The pre- and post-quizzes turn a game into evidence. The structure supports pupils in setting goals and monitoring their own progress. And it gives us a loop: design, measure, improve, and repeat. 3 different lenses, but they point to the same conclusion. This is usable, it is engaging, and it is built to get better. And this is not a one-off. SteamScape sits inside a wider line of European best practice that we run at SOML, a connected portfolio that shares the same DNA: game-based learning, STEAM, the SDGs, and responsible AI. Bafos uses Minecraft education for food loss awareness. Food Heroes gamifies sustainable eating. Edutain STEM pairs STEAM with an AI-driven learning app. Greencom for Adapt gives us the European Sustainability Framework. IRT for Schools brings hands-on technology, and Ideals adds active citizenship. This is what Erasmus Plus is for: schools across Europe building on each other's work rather than starting from zero. If something here speaks to you, you can plug straight in. It all lives on erasmusplus.soml.nl, and we welcome new partner schools. Let me bring it home. What does all of this give your students and you? Let me bring it home with the benefits, for students and for teachers. For students, the benefit is engagement with agency. They drive the learning instead of filling in a worksheet. They collaborate and solve problems in real time, and they build genuine sustainability literacy through authentic SDG challenges. For teachers, it is ready-to-run resources that save you preparation time, a clear model for designing your own games, and a European network to share and co-create with. So here is my one ask. Do not leave today with inspiration only. Play one game with a class this term, adapt it, and pass your version to a colleague. That single step is how creativity and good practice actually spread. Thank you. This work is co-funded by the European Union, whose support makes these European collaborations possible. You can scan the code on the opening slide or find me on LinkedIn. And now I would love to hear from you. Let's open it up for questions and discussion. How might this look in your classrooms, your subjects, your schools?